Hello everybody. I am currently on my way to go to Michael's because I'm looking for a couple of things that I need to do a DIY, and if I can get it to turn out right, I will share it with you. Of course, it has to do with a harvest DIY, and I did see it right here on YouTube, and so I will share all of it with you. I just need a couple of more items. I just thought it was the perfect thing that I'm looking for my front porch. And I just left the hair salon because I had to get a trim, and I think she did a great job. And it's so nice to just get it freshened up and get the dead ends off, and it's just kind of my little outing that I get to do for myself, and I enjoy it. You know, whenever somebody else can wash your hair, and the place that I go to gives you kind of a head and a neck massage, and oh boy, I really like that. So anyways, I am just looking for some more ribbon. I pretty much used up what I purchased. I have some of the wider ribbon, but I need the smaller size, so I'm sure I can pick that up at Michael's, and I'll get back with you. I'm going to show you later on how I freshened up my front door wreath, because it looks really, really adorable, and I'll explain to you what I did there. Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping in. If you're new, welcome. If you're old, returning, welcome. Today I thought what I would do is kind of put together just some clips from the last couple of days, and oh my gosh, you know, it never fails. It is just like pouring buckets outside. What a better way to get you in the mood for fall. But I just finished doing my little DIY decorating out on my back porch, and yeah, I can hear the thunder, the lightning, and the hard rain, and I'm sure the wind is blowing all of it all over my decos. But that's the way it goes, you know, like when you go and wash your car, what happens when you get in it and get it all nice and buffed up? It rains, but that's okay. So as I was saying, welcome. I'm going to put together a few clips from the last couple of days, and I'm going to you know, just a tiny little chit chat about just a few just odds and ends type things. But really what I want to talk about is this: do the DIYs work? Do you watch a DIY and try to replicate it or duplicate it? Do they really work? There are so many wonderful, great DIYs out on YouTube, but I'm not sure you could hear that, but that was a big one. Anyway, a big thunder and lightning. But do they work? Do the DIYs work? And so I am going to show you two DIYs in particular that I did from watching a YouTube tutorial, and I will link their channel below because they did a great, fantastic job of explaining the DIY, and I just thought, you know, I made it. It came adorable. I did do a little tweaking here and there for my own style, but I was able to follow it. I was able to replicate it, and I am going to just kind of talk through it, and I'll show you pictures. I will put pictures up of what the DIYs are. So in answer to my questions, you know, not all do-it-yourself projects come out maybe the way you planned, but it sometimes just takes some practice. And so I'm going to show you two that I picked up right from YouTube. Absolutely adorable. The instructions on how to do them just came great. And I'm also going to insert, if I can locate them, some past pictures of just festive bows that I have done myself, and they have all been DIYs that I have found through tutorials on YouTube. So, you know, I love YouTube for that reason, because I think it's a wonderful community for sharing, and you can get inspired and so many different ideas, and I think it just kind of gets your natural creativity juices flowing. And so I'm going to share some of these with you. Two in particular, and like I said, I will link their channels below because they should get the credit for it, and they actually do demonstration and a tutorial on how they do it, and I'm just going to show you my finished products. So I just want to talk to you a little bit about in decorating, because if you're like me and you love seasonal decorating for like the fall and Christmas, then you know it doesn't have to be expensive every year. I have had some of my decorations for years and years and years, and I know that I have already posted a couple of my fall mini house tour decorations that I've done. I did buy a few new items this year, and I have a wreath that I've had for many years, and I absolutely love it because I love the colors of it, but it really needed some sprucing up. So that was my electricity going off and on. It's kind of a bad storm, but I'm in my cute little cozy area and I think I'm safe. But anyways, like I was saying, I'm going to go ahead and picture of that particular wreath and what I did to spruce it up, and then I'm going to show you some of the little items that I added to my back porch and got that done. And I haven't decorated out on the front porch yet, and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do, but that I'm going to wait for about another week. But anyways, let me just share a couple of little things with you. For example, these are little wooden bobbins, as you can see. They're antiques and they're spools, and I have collected several of these over the years, some a little bigger, some smaller, and I love to decorate with them. And I will put a picture here, ding, of another bobbin that I just stuck some silk fall leafage inside the middle of it. I snipped the end of it, the wire, and just put it in, and it just kind of adds that little bit of height. So you can see that in that picture. And this, because I don't really want to change the composition of this particular spool so that I can use it, I just stuck the pumpkin on top and stuck this little leaf around this jute and raffia, and just put the pumpkin up it and just set it on an end table. So cute, so simple, so easy. Like I said, I don't really want to change the composition of that particular spool, so whatever I do to it, I want to be able to know that I can take it apart. Now, here's another spool that I did change the composition of this one because I made it into a little sewing type tchotchke, if you want. These were, oh, I need to put a little more glue on that because that one is coming off. These two were little spools that my mom had from way back that I believe belonged to my dad's mom, my grandmother. And they were just in a bag with some old-fashioned spools that were the tall ones, and the thread was wrapped around it. Now I've kept those intact. I don't use it, of course, but I do sew. And when I had my sewing room before we moved, when I was in Illinois, I did have them out and displayed. But I decided, I saw this cute little spool at some antique store, and they wanted like $25 just to do this, to put a few old bobbins on and a little scissors. And so I had a pair of scissors at home. I had the jute, wrapped the jute all the way around the bobbin, and I hung these two little spools on. This one is actually glued, but the glue, I think the glue has just come off a little, so I'll have to hot glue that. And this I just strung around with jute onto the scissors because those belong to my grandmother. And this I have on a bookshelf. So these bobbins, if you come across them, they're great to decorate with. They're great to decorate seasonally. They make great gifts. You can put together all kinds of fun little things, or you can just leave them plain because they're really pretty in their natural state. So I just kind of wanted to share that with you. And then also this. This is a shoe form, and it's wood. It's solid wood, and on it it says 3. So I believe this is a size 3 form. And this was my grandfather's. My grandfather was a shoemaker, and a really good shoemaker, where he literally not only repaired shoes, he made shoes. And what I did several years ago when I kind of acquired this, I just, and this little ribbon is so faded because I had this particular form on my big wooden window at home, and just let me show you this. And I guess the sun just sort of faded out this what was a cranberry little piece of ribbon, and I tied this little bell on it just because it was something I was using during the Christmas holiday, and I just thought it was so cute. And I'm going to change it out this year and put a fresh new ribbon on it. But this is another little form from my grandpa that I have, and I keep this on my bookshelf. So there's all kinds of fun things you can do. If you come across these particular items and you like old antiques, there's just all kinds of fun little things. Now, like I said, I don't ever do anything to change the actual physical characteristic of it. Except like on this one, because this is a bobbin that I just bought at an antique store, but I wanted to be able to do something sweet that reminded me of something that belonged to my grandma. So I kind of got off the subject a little bit with that, but there's all kinds of fun DIYs that you can do with jute and raffia. And you know, you can embellish a plain wire wreath or a styrofoam wreath and make beautiful DIYs, and there's all kinds of tutorials out there on YouTube. And I would encourage you, if you're looking to do something different, that's the place to check it out. Pictures of what I've added to the house, how I sparked up my front door wreath, and what I did for my DIYs, and how I decorated my little closed-in back porch. And the one that I am really excited about, actually two that were just really fun to make, and one in particular though is the silhouette of the pumpkin, and it's on a wood board, and it literally took so little. It took one pumpkin silhouette that came from the Dollar Tree, 99 cents, acrylic paint, a small bottle, a small little container of stain, and the wood piece. Now the wood piece I actually got at Michael's. It wasn't cheap, but it was 40% off because I had a coupon, and so I went ahead and got that because I figured I don't have any old wood around that I could, you know, refurbish, but that would be the way to go, and I believe that's what the demonstrator in the tutorial did. And as I said, I'll link her channels below, but I did that DIY. It literally went so fast and it came out so good. I love it. And I'm seriously thinking, actually I made it to thinking I was going to put it out on my front porch, but I loved it so much on my brick wall in my back porch that I'm like, okay, I might need to make another one. But it was a lot of fun, and it just came out so good. And so I'm going to share that with you, and like I said, I will link those channels below. And also, there is a wreath that I did from another tutorial. I changed it a little bit for my liking and what I wanted to do, and I hung it on my mirror that's in my area where I have my dining room table. So I hope you enjoy this, and I will put in some the little things that I added and tweaked up, because usually that's what I do. I gather all my fall stuff, I get it out, I go around, put it where I want it, then see what I might be missing or what I want to add, and then spend the next 3 days, 4 days changing something here, something there, till I get it to where I really like it. And now I think I'm pretty much for the inside where I really like it. And so I hope you enjoy this. If you do, give it a thumbs up. And like I said, I love fall. We're entering that season. I'm so ready and willing to say bye-bye to the summer months and hello to fall. So hope you enjoy this. As I stated earlier, I like to change things up. So I changed the centerpiece on my dining table to a whitewash lantern with a flickering candle and a whitewashed thankful sign. And inside I just threw loosely some leaves and little pumpkins, and I loved it. This is one of the DIY projects that I did. It was so simple, so easy, using a wire wreath form and the wide mesh. This is rose gold and black. It's extremely forgiving, very easy to work with. I've never used it before, and I absolutely love the way everything came out. It was so fun, and I will link that video below. And the finished product is a little different than what was shown on the video, but I just embellished it with a huge fun bow and put my own style to it with color, and I love the way it looks on that mirror. This is a wreath that I bought at Walmart, and I added a brown sparkly leaf, just one, and made a little bow for it, hung it in my kitchen, and it just looks beautiful. This happens to be the wreath on my front door. It's very old. I added the welcome to our home sign that I got at Dollar Tree, and I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do with it to spruce it up. I love the bold colors, so as you can see, I added a big huge bow at around the 4 o'clock area, and I left the old pumpkin and the old bow intact right on it, and I think it came just beautiful. And this was my very favorite project DIY that I did this year. This is a pumpkin stencil form that I got at Dollar Tree for 99 cents. I used acrylic paint in parchment color and some black stain on a wood farm board that I bought at Michael's, and I love this picture. I will link her video below. It was so fun to do, so easy. Here I'm just trying to play around with it to see if I want to add a bow to it. Am I going to use it in the front porch, or am I going to use it on my back porch? And there it is in my back porch, and I love the way it looks. I think I love it so much I'm going to make a bigger one for my front porch. It is a fun DIY, simple and easy. And here's a little sign I bought at Dollar Tree for 99 cents, and I just made a really fun little whimsical bow, and I hung it on a bell.
And that bell has been with our home since I was a little girl. And I have moved that to all the houses that I've lived in. So that was a bell that belonged to my dad, and I just love it. And I love that I was able to do something with it. And also, don't forget, you have a lot of projects around the house. Use them and make your own DIYs. Until next time, be kind, be humble, age gracefully, and enjoy decorating your home.